What's up? It's your boy Carcino. Let's get into it. This is the truth behind the Jennifer Lopez and Ashanti situation. I would have called it beef, but they don't have beef. It wasn't that situation. It was this is what we would just call a situation because of how it played out. Now, when you look at the construct of the situation, you start to see how and why and things of that nature as far as when people are coming up in the game and the things that they have to go through and agree to. It leaves a lot of room for people to say, wow, this isn't what I signed up for. For some people to say, this is what I signed up for. And I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get in the business. When Jennifer Lopez started her reign in, like, what was that, 99? When she had the I'm Real and think what was the no, it wasn't that one I'm Real. That was on the sixth. If You Have My Love. Now, when she started that, that's when things started to go in another direction for her because Jennifer Lopez wanted to put out a Spanish record, but at the time, Tommy Mottola was controlling her career. She's messing around with Tommy. And when Tommy was involved, that's he was basically guiding everything, how she looked, had her wearing black all the time from head to toe, did not want her to, you know, basically come out of her shell. He wanted her to be under his thumb all the time. So when Puffy came out and they was having a little spat at the time, she was reinventing herself, came out flaunting herself in the thinnest attire ever, throwing them boobs all over the place. She was half naked. In that Honey video, he was hot as a firecracker. He was out the door. So this really had nothing to do with Jennifer Lopez and Ashanti. Their situation, they were used as pawns in a situation that had something to do with Tommy and Mariah Carey. He wanted to take Mariah Carey down so bad, and I already did the truth behind they beef. He wants to take her down so bad he don't care what's happening everywhere else though. So when Tommy was like, "You ain't gonna make it without me," and this album proved that she could make it without him. It sold over 10 million records, and he was mad. So when Jennifer Lopez is coming around, he's trying to like, I'm gonna make her a star. She wanted to sing Spanish records only. She was like, I want to do Hispanic music, and he was, nah, you with me, babe. We're gonna put this to shame. So while Tommy was dealing with her at the time, and he just couldn't get her, they put her in the studio. She couldn't sing, and the fact that she couldn't sing, that her vocals weren't there, and she had no, she had the look, the vocals just weren't there. She wasn't a singer. And she's like, well, let me sing Spanish records. I don't want to sing American songs. People's American songs is what's going to make the money. Tommy, like, trust my direction. So he called up Sean Puffy Combs, introduced the idea to Puffy. Next thing you know, she's like, Puffy Combs? She's hanging out at parties with Puff. Next thing you know, Puff scooped her. Now she's Puff Girl. And Tommy's like, look, I don't give a damn what you do with her. Just make her a hit. Make her a platinum album, make her an album, make her something that I could use. You have all this to your disposal, use it. So Puffy knows he's got to make this a hit. Period. Puffy used every trick in the book. They took songs, stole songs from people, anything he could to make that album pop. It sold like 1,000,000 records. They had background singers on the records. They had everybody on the records to help her through that. She couldn't sing a lick. So she couldn't hold her notes, nothing. So they got through it and got her on the board, you know. So the second album was coming around and they were like, okay, first album went through. Now we gotta get this second album. This gonna be the one to get it done. So now Mariah is more in line with Murder Inc., Jay-Z, and all of those guys over there, since, you know, teaming up with Puff, that time to, you know, get her album done and stuff. So now she is, at this time, Mariah is, you know, doing more R&B-ish type of songs that she want to do. Tommy is like, look, the second album with J-Lo got a pop. And at this time, Ashanti had just been signed. You know, she just got her record deal, and she was happy to get a deal with Murder Inc. And she was just happy to be there. So when you got somebody that's happy to be somewhere and they want to get things done, and you know they bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, you know they can, you know, you can really use that to your advantage. So when they got her there, they got her just to learn from Ja. You know, she could. They liked the demo song she did, but you know they want her to get more polished. So during this time, J Lo, Benny Medina, and everybody else was looking at it like, okay, Puffy had started producing on this record, and her second album called J Lo, which was the nickname that people gave her. And this is when things started to go in another direction. The album was completed, it was done, the project was going, but Mariah Carey was getting all this hip hop fame, and they wanted. This is what was funny about it, is that Tommy didn't want her having all the hip hop artists, rap stars, all with J Lo. He didn't want it at all. Now when they see Mariah Carey having this success, calls up Irv Gotti. Irv, I want Jennifer Lopez to do a song with Ja Rule in a duet. Same way you did with Mariah. Because they had just did that with Mariah Carey. So when they just did that with Mariah, they just did that with Mariah. So he told them, look, we got some songs, you know, remix it. So they want to do a remix to I'm Real. Now, Ashanti was already in there. She did the record with Ja Rule, you know, for I'm Real. Ashanti did that and came in and worked the record out and everything they made, which was basically a reference track for the song. Ja wrote it. Ashanti and Ja came up with the record. So that's how, that came into play. But Ashanti and Ja Rule put together the record, and you can hear Ashanti's vocals. Ashanti singing the hook on the song. That's not Jennifer Lopez. Cause I'm real. That's Ashanti. Y'all probably never knew that. But that's Ashanti on the hook. She's not credited on the song. They kept her vocals on there and put it like a background. And that's her on the hook. Then you have the situation where they thought, okay, well, that's great. We got this going. This is gonna be kind of big for us. The album was a smash. It was quadruple platinum. Did much better than the first album, and it was just a smash hit. And they came out with another song, the "Ain't It's Funny." They did a remix to "Ain't It Funny." Again, they get Irv Gotti remix that song, call it the Murder Inc. remix. And "Ain't It Funny" was another song again. They got Ashanti on there, and they put it on as another single for the album. And once again, Ashanti, who basically wrote this entire song that's performed, is on there. That song was a smash hit, and Ashanti album comes out at this time in like the very next year, or what was it, like about 3 4 months later, because she was in the course of working on her album, her and Ja. So when they were making these records, that's why it has their appeal to it. Those two records. So they were great working together. Ja was good writing the music, Ashanti performing. They did really good. Her album came out, Ashanti took right off. Boom. Right out the gate. Ashanti sold, she was gold in a week. First week. The album sold like 2 million copies. Easy. She blew down the doors. The album was triple platinum, a debut album. Foolish led off the first track. It was Baby and Happy and all these songs. They came right in and they were like, we're gonna have like one word songs. So it was Foolish, Happy, Leaving, Call, what was it, Scared, Rescue, Baby. But the album was like completely too many songs. Then they came in with Unfoolish, the remix version of Foolish with B.I.G. on there because Puffy wanted to get involved big time. So Puff got a chance to get his producer credit in there. So while all this was going on, what was noticeable in this whole situation that there was no Jennifer Lopez on her album. There was no J-Lo feature on her album. And she didn't wrote and did all these songs for J-Lo. They was like, well, the conflict, the busyness of schedule. So, on the next go round, I'm quite sure we gonna get J-Lo. We gonna have her available for things, and she'll be there. And it was like, oh, okay, there ain't no really big deal. So the next year when she comes out with chapter 2, the Ashanti album, right? What you see is Ja Rule, once again, too many doggone songs, same format. Rock With You was a hit, but once again, no Jennifer Lopez. So, Irv Gotti had an idea for one of the, as they wanted to do a remix of Ashanti song. I think it was, they were going to do, I think it was either Feel So Good. I think they were going to do a remix of one of those. And they were like, we're going to do that or Living My Life. We're going to put that out and roll with it and do a remix to it and put that out. That'll be the 4th single. That's going to be smash. That's the one that's going to come through the door. So I'm going to call up Tommy Mantola. So he's trying to find Tommy to do this record. Like, let me get Tommy. Tommy owed me this. We gonna get Jennifer Lopez and it's gonna pop and this is that. Wasn't the case. Couldn't find her. Oh, I'm gonna find. We gonna get Ashanti to do this. Couldn't get her. Couldn't get her. Couldn't get Jennifer Lopez for nothing for Ashanti. And they was like, oh yeah. We'll work on that, but it's just right now the timing ain't right. And we're like, whoa. What's wrong with the timing? You see, the timing was right when it was for Jennifer. But now this is for Ashanti, the timing ain't right. When Ashanti started out the gate selling way more records than Jennifer Lopez. So what's the problem? Now it comes to find out that at the same time, Jennifer was going through a situation that happened with Puff. And she was kind of staying out the limelight. So they were breaking up. Her and Puff were doing a split and going through they separations and the incident that went down. So after her This Is Me Then and Jenny from the Block and doing all of these songs, Irv Gotti wasn't nowhere to be found on this record. She had moved with a new movement. She had just started dating Ben Affleck. So she was not in the same mind frame as she was back then, and now she's like being introduced to movie producers and studios who don't want her attached to the hip hop world no more. They want her to do more like Luther Vandross type songs and Stevie Wonder. They want her to do dance pop, R&B, soul sound, and no more of this hip hop stuff. But when she first started doing the record, she had some songs. She had some songs that had Styles P and Jada Kiss on there from the Locks. So while she was trying to encourage her people, oh, she's not gonna make those type of records no more. It's like those are the type of records that found you. But once again, she didn't do nothing for the Ashanti, and Ashanti like, well, I didn't need her anyway. She can sing, but hey, she has star appeal. But it's amazing how they want you and take all your work. Now imagine if she'd have kept them records for herself. And they did Ain't It Funny and I'm Real and all that stuff, and they'd have kept that for themselves. And they put that on Ashanti's album. Where would Jennifer Lopez be without those songs? Well, she had LL Cool J on the song because LL Cool J could make, you know, R&B songs more smoothed out, and it was a situation that went sour because they pulled away, and it was like, man, what happened with J-Lo? Why she going this direction? First she trying to say she from the Bronx and screaming the Bronx, but then she's going out with all these Hollywood producers and singing these other type of records, and now she can't be associated with us. And when Murder Inc. would have needed that push from the people that they helped out, they didn't get it. They didn't get the same thing in return. Tommy didn't really give a damn about it no more. From that standpoint, he already got what he wanted out of the deal. He had Jennifer Lopez successful, sabotage Mariah Carey glitter thing. He was cool. But this just goes to show you, this altered Ashanti's career because she got caught into the Eminem Murder Inc. situation, and it torpedoed her career, and she couldn't make any move. And she stayed when she should have left Murder Inc. and went to any other record label and been putting out more hit albums and stuff like that. She stayed loyal. She stayed with guiding them almost to the end. Till it was like she stayed way too long, and her career was in like hiatus for a long time. So she was trying to move into movies and do other things, but yeah, I just had to point out that situation that she helped create Jennifer Lopez to what she is. A lot of people did, but her two songs stood out the most, and you know, in the end, she didn't reciprocate any of the love that she got. It was like, thank you, goodbye. So that's it. That's all I had to say about the situation. If you want to donate to the page, you can click the link in the description box and hit up the Streamlab and donate to the page. We really appreciate it. And if you like Cash App, it's easier for you to use. You can use that. My name is Carcino. Like the video if you like it, and I'm out.